10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
In the summertime, when the weather is high, you can stretch right up and touch the sky. When the weather's fine, you got women on your mind. Have a drink, have a drive, go out and see what you can find. If a daddy's rich, take her out for a meal. If a daddy's poor, just do what you feel. Speed along the lane, you can turn or a turn of 25. When the sun goes down, you can make it good and live by. We're not great people, we're not dirty, we're not mean. We love everybody, but we do as we please. When the weather's fine, we go fishing or go sailing in the sea. We're always happy, lives we're living, yeah, that's our philosophy. Sing along with us, dee-dee-dee-dee-dee, da-da-da-da-da, yeah, we're happy. It'll soon be summertime and we'll sing again. We go driving or maybe we'll settle down. If she's rich, if she's nice, bring your friends and we'll all go into town. Summertime, when the weather is high, you can stretch right up and touch the sky. When the weather's fine, you got women on your mind. Have a drink, have a drive, go out and see what you can find. If a daddy's rich, take her out for a meal. If a daddy's poor, just do what you feel. Speed along the lane, you can turn or a turn of 25. When the sun goes down, you can make it good and live by. We're not great people, we're not dirty, we're not mean. We love everybody, but we do as we please. When the weather's fine, we go fishing or go sailing in the sea. We're always happy, lives we're living, yeah, that's our philosophy. Sing along with us, dee-dee-dee-dee-dee, da-da-da-da-da, yeah, we're happy.
The best part of it all, I have 6 grandchildren, and I'm crazy about them. And I speak to them every single day. Not a joke.
Well, the 6th count obviously leaves out Hunter Biden's 4-year-old daughter. According to court documents, a paternity test has proven that she is indeed Hunter's. He just recently settled a child support case in her interest. The New York Times is now reporting that leaving her out has essentially become a new White House policy. They write, in strategy meetings, aides have been told that the Bidens have 6, not 7, grandchildren.
Suddenly, another sea lion dashes out of the water and darts towards the crowd, prompting everyone to run. Male sea lions can reach up to 7 feet in length and weigh up to 750 pounds.
You're looking at 2 heroes, and they're just 8 and 12. These brothers saved the life of a 7-year-old buddy who nearly drowned in an apartment complex swimming pool near Flint, Michigan.
These were the moments just before the big reveal. Gather by Ellie's house with the big side. In this neighborhood near Seattle, the whole community turned out to celebrate one little girl. See her there in that car? That's Ellie Hoffman pulling up to her own surprise 7th birthday party.
7-year-old son Torres Garcia only wanted to spend time by the water looking at fireworks.
This is not supposed to happen to babies.
Separate mass shooting overnight at a nightclub in Wichita, Kansas. That left 7 people injured and 2 others trampled. The victims range from 21 to 34 years old. No one has died.
In a forceful display, China's PLA sent 37 aircraft and 7 Navy vessels.
As you well know from spending time in the region during the G7, North Korea craves attention. And when you have a gathering such as the NATO summit, something like this is ripe to happen. As far as the South Korean meeting, it is believed that it has included defense ministers, other top officials. South Korea has made comments today saying that there will be consequences.
I saw a poll this week that 80% of the people in this country have a family member or a friend who has died or been injured. And of each of those people, they each know 7 people who have died or been injured.
Now the anxious wait for the team's return. Go says he handpicked each man for their patriotism. While he waits for news, he calls his 7-year-old daughter. He's already taught her how to strip a gun. 7 hours later, the 2-man team are extracted. Early morning, just before the shelling resumes. The relief is palpable.
Imtiaz, could you isolate for me what Elton John's testimony and Spacey's testimony at this point, what it says about the defense strategy?
Yeah, guys, well, the short answer is to cast as much doubt on the accuser as possible. We have to remember, the 63-year-old actor stands accused, as we've been saying, of 12 offenses, including 7 counts of sexual assault, 3 of indecent assault, 1 count of causing a person to engage in sexual activity without consent, and 1 count of causing a person to engage in, and I'm quoting here, penetrative sexual activity without consent.
I'm enormously grateful to the jury for having taken the time to examine all of the evidence and all of the facts carefully before they reach their decision. And I am humbled by the outcome today.
$10, $5, $8 and I'll do it. Fine. Help! I've escaped from Kevin Spacey's basement. Help me!
This case began on June 13th when the San Diego County Sheriff's Office says a woman reported her 14-year-old granddaughter missing. The Sheriff's Office says military police found that teenager at Camp Pendleton 2 weeks after she disappeared and returned her back to her family. A woman in a TikTok video now claiming she's the girl's aunt says that her 14-year-old niece was raped on the military base.
Okay, so he covers major national stories, interviews prominent public figures, including Canada's Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, and Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak. And when Wyatt Sharp isn't busy producing his own YouTube show, he is rubbing elbows with the likes of U.S. Senator Nancy Pelosi, some of our very own here at News Nation. He's interviewed Ashley Banfield, Leland Vittert.
Did I mention he's 14?
We've had, in the last 14 months, a total of 23 deaths.
Drama on the beach after a 14-year-old is bitten. It was kind of like following me, maybe going in for another bite, so I had to spin around and push it back. But Dame Blair wasn't attacked by a shark, it was a sea lion. The sea lion was actually attached to your bottom. Yes. This is like the wildest thing ever.
More than 80 million Americans across 14 states were under heat alerts over the weekend.
A 14-year-old has been arrested after allegedly trying to break into a car in one Texas neighborhood. Police in Plano say the teen may be responsible for nearly 40 car thefts or attempted thefts in the area.
Near Greece, at a dangerously overloaded boat crowded with more than 750 migrants capsized in June. Almost everyone on board drowned, including a 14-year-old boy from Pakistan.
A poll out shows 59% of us oppose phasing out gas cars by 2035. 21% support Biden's policy on this. What's your take on it?
Well, this is, I don't think we need a poll to show us these numbers. The American people have voted. Less than 7% of cars are electric vehicle sales in America.
455. Good job, Max. Max Park is a Rubik's Cube whiz. Yes! The 21-year-old from California just broke a Guinness World Record by solving the puzzle in 3.13 seconds.
The Department of Defense is paying for travel expenses and is offering up to 21 days of leave for soldiers and their dependents to get abortions.
Pope Francis announced 21 new cardinals today.
Good morning. It's a tragic start to the 4th of July weekend here in Baltimore. 2 people dead and 28 others injured from this shooting.
The remains of 30 victims of the Srebrenica genocide are being buried on the 28th anniversary of the atrocity. Thousands in Bosnia and Herzegovina are paying tribute to the dead. More than 8,300 mainly Muslim men and boys were killed by Bosnian Serb forces during the Balkans War.
28 years old and with a song for the king at the coronation concert under his belt, Zach Abel should have a long career in music ahead of him. But Zach is a singer in a hurry to record as fast as he can. He has a worsening hearing condition, so he isn't sure how long he'll be able to continue performing.
A powerful bomb ripped through a rally held by supporters of a hardline cleric and political leader in the country's northwestern Bajur district that borders Afghanistan on Sunday. This is in Pakistan. Police and health officials said at least 35 people were killed and more than 100 wounded.
Police in Israel have arrested 42 protesters who've been marching against the government's planned judicial changes. Breaking news. Actor and comedian Paul Reubens, better known as Pee Wee Herman, has passed away. The news of his death was shared on his official Facebook page, which says that he privately fought cancer. The post saying that his Pee Wee Herman character delighted generations of children and adults with his positivity, whimsy, and belief in the importance of kindness. Reubens was 70 years old.
News that communist troops have invaded southern Korea.
For 3 years, fighting engulfed the Korean peninsula. In the 70 years since, peace has eluded it.
Well, a concerning development in this story. Tonight, we can reveal that a 12-year-old boy is still missing after disappearing from a Home Office-provided hotel, which was housing child asylum seekers who'd crossed the channel alone. This admission comes directly from the Home Office after a Freedom of Information request by Channel 4 News. Until now, the government hadn't disclosed this detail. The boy is among 154 unaccompanied children still missing in all. These are children who crossed the channel on small boats and were being housed in 7 hotels across 5 local authorities.
SPD heard that there were more gunshots on scene. There was actually a man not far from here who said that he was shot near the 1400 block of Harvard.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. His acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. Then the whining schoolboy with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like snail, unwillingly to school. And then the lover, sighing like furnace, with a woeful ballad made to his mistress' eyebrow. Then a soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like the bard, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice, in fair round belly, with good capon lined, with eyes severe and beard of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances, and so he plays his part. The 6th age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side. His youthful hose well saved, a world too wide for his shrunk shank, and his big manly voice turning again toward childish treble, pipes and whistles in his sound. Last scene of all that ends this strange, eventful history is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything.